We are reviewing the WebAssign graphing tool. So far, we've seen the pointer, we've seen the line tool, the circle tool, and we are moving on to the parabola tool. The parabola tool has an additional parabola. You can see by this little triangle here, you click it, and we're going to end up with two things here. And so we have to select it. The parabola tool has two important points in order for you to draw a parabola. So you require 2 points. Very similar to the line, very similar to the circle, you need 2 points. What are the 2 points you need to know before you start using the graphing tool? You need to know the vertex, which is the highest or lowest point of your graph, depending on the way that it is opening. In this case, I'm going to do a graph that opens up. So this is going to be the lowest point for me. Then I need to know what the next point is. Where do you find this next point? It is up to you to use your equation on your piece of paper and know what the second point is. For example, and I'm going to give you some examples in a little bit. If my second point is 1, 1, then this draws my parabola for me. Again, you need to know your vertex and a second point. It matters where you put the second point because the graph will look very different. Let's try it again. If I start my parabola with the same vertex on the origin, the second point would be 2, 1, and look at it, looks much wider than the first one I drew. Let's go ahead and give you some examples. So I have on the screen for you 3 examples, 3 different cases. So I have case 1 where it's x squared. You must know your vertex. So the vertex on this graph, you must know this. It's not listed on here and I didn't do the work for you. The vertex on case 1 is 0, 0. It starts at the origin. Then you can pick any of these points, whichever one you want. You can pick -1, 1, or 0, 0, which is the vertex, that wouldn't work for you, or 1, 1 as the next one. So this is called a t-table, and I picked these points and then I found this by substituting x into this. Second case, I have 2x squared. I didn't do the work for you, but I know what the vertex is. The vertex is 0, 0 as well, which is hk. If you don't know where to get the vertex, go back to your sections and look for the section where we covered the vertex. And then how do you get that second point that you need? Then you make up an x value and you substitute into your equation, in this case this expression here, and you're able to get this y value. Third case looks very different. This is actually in vertex form. The vertex of this is 1, 3. So the highest or lowest point, in this case the lowest because it's positive, the lowest point is 1, 3, that's your vertex, and your second point would come by substituting one of these x values that I made up into the equation and getting a result. So if I substitute -1, I get 11. If I substitute 0, I get 5, and 1, 3. I'm going to go ahead and graph this one here. So what do? We're going to have our tool, and we know that our vertex was at 1, 3, and then we had to grab a second point. Here is one of the second points. You can pick whatever you want. You can pick this one, the second point here, or the third one. I'm going to pick this 1, 3. Could I pick this 1, 3? No, because this is my vertex, right? So I can't pick this one, even though I was about to. I can't pick this 1, 3. So I'm going to pick 0, 5. Let's take a look at 0, 5. So I'm coming in here and I have 0, 5 for my next one. There's even the case here where you can bring it up and preview, make sure that your points are exactly where you wanted them to be. This one is at 1, 3, exactly where I wanted it to be, and 0, 5 here. How did I do that? I brought that up by clicking on this point, and it brings that up. And in this case, it actually brings up a really important thing that we're going to be doing is I can change this solid line to a dashed line. Take a look at dashed versus solid. What does that matter? It does. The dash is not included and the solid is included. This is how you change it. And that is how you draw or use the Parabola tool on the WebAssign graphing tools.